Hey and welcome to another video with me, Elmo, this guy. It's good to have you along, and today I'm talking about the Strymon sunset. This is part 2 of a 2-part video. If you haven't watched part 1, there will be a card somewhere here. And in this video I'm talking about the different possibilities you have with the Strymon in going from the A channel into the B channel, or the B channel into the A channel, or running them parallel. So part 1 was the different options in both of the channels. So this will be a bit different. I'll be right back after this intro. Okay, so welcome back. So, like I said, in this one I'll talk about the kind of unique possibilities that you have with the Strymon sunset. And in part 1 I just did the different variations you can get on each channel. But in this one I'll talk about how you combine the two different channels into each other or parallel, which should potentially create some interesting sounds. Now, like I said, if you haven't watched part 1, please do so and get back to this part afterwards. Now, I didn't want to do the whole thing as one video because that would have been crazy long. Now, before I get going, what else do I have here? I have a Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Strat going into the Strymon and going into a Marshall 1987X, going into a Marshall Cab. I also have a delay in the loop. In this video I won't have the Fender Yngwie Malmsteen Overdrive to compare because I'm more kind of interested in the unique kind of things that the Strymon does. Now, if you want a comparison between the Fender Yngwie Overdrive and the Strymon, watch part 1, like I've said a couple of times. Okay, so that's basically it. Let's get going. Okay, so this first instance is me running the B channel into the A channel. And what I have on the B channel is actually I have to have a look. I have the J FET, and I'm going into the germanium type, because it has different types of pedals, into the germanium pedal, as it were. So I can drive the germanium pedal a bit harder with the J FET. Now, first of all, here's my clean signal. So, not entirely clean, but hey, this never is. Now, here's just the J FET. It doesn't give you a huge amount of overdrive, just gives a bit of a boost. Now here's what just that sounds like. Okay, so that's that, and then I have the germanium, which sounds like this. Okay, so I'll tweak the controls a bit because I had a bit too much drive going on with the J FET. I don't want it to overdrive quite that much, and so I'll take the drive, because that was on full, I'll take it to about 2 o'clock, and again, here is just the J FET. And now I'll turn on the germanium, the A channel, and we'll see how that sounds. Okay, interesting. I'll just take an E chord and turn on and off the, or off and on the B side, so you'll get the J fed off and then on and off and on and so on and so forth. Very nice. You get just kind of a small boost over the proverbial hill. There is a bit much top end and maybe not enough bass, so I'll roll off a bit on the tone on the germanium. Now that's sounding like this. Again with the J fret. Ooh, nice. I'll add a drive to the J fret just to see how that kind of reacts. Oh, hey. Bit too much drive for me, but well. Okay, so next I thought I'd try, because it also has a hard drive. I'll run the hard drive into the germanium. The hard drive. Yeah, the hard clipping type drive into the germanium. I'll roll off on drive on both. This should give it kind of an interesting thing. So the germanium with the drive at halfway is like this. If I add the hard drive to that one, it sounds like this. Interesting. If I dial back the tone on the hard drive all the way down, because now at the moment I have it 3 o'clock, we'll see what happens. Interesting stuff. You can get quite a bit of different tonal options going this way. Like for instance, if I take it back to the J fret, don't add a lot of drive, have the drive on full on the germanium, and kind of get a different tonal thing going on. So I have the tone on the germanium at 3 o'clock now, and I have the tone of the J fret all the way down, so that should give it a bit of a different feel. That was without the J fret, and now here with the J fret, not a lot of drive going on, and the tone rolled off all the way. Okay, interesting. Just take another E chord and turn off and on the J fret to hear the difference in tone. It beefs it up a bit, adds a bit of low end and so on. Okay, I'll try it the other way around now, so I'll be right back. Alright, so now I have A into B, and on the B side I now have the two-stage overdrive, which I'll turn up all the way because, hey, more is more, and all that kind of stuff. And this is also kind of a soft clipping type overdrive. It isn't very harsh. Again, here's the clean. Here's the two-stage. And now the A side has a treble booster type thing. So if I just use that with everything on full, it sounds like this. So if I, for instance, want to boost the treble side of the two-stage, I could do that just by using the A side in conjunction with the B side, running A into B. Okay, that's definitely too much drive, so I'll back off on the drive on the treble booster and maybe a bit on the two-stage as well. And here we go. Still too much. Backing off a bit more. I have the drive on the two-stage now at 2 o'clock and the drive on the treble booster at roughly 9 o'clock. Definitely sounds quite interesting. If I just have the B side again with the two-stage. The two-stage on its own is more of something that I could use on its own, but combining the two is definitely something quite interesting. Yeah, there's really quite a lot going on here. So, what if I combine my two favorites from both sides? So I have the germanium and the two-stage. That would sound something like this. There's a bit much going on. I don't have too much drive on the germanium, just 9 o'clock, but still something. And without the B side, without the two-stage, it sounds like this. Okay, so next I'll look at the parallel thing where you can basically run both sides, kind of like running them into a mixer and blending them. Um, so they go parallel, hence the name. I'll be right back. Alright, so in the previous two examples, one side was going into the other side and from that into the amp. So one side was reacting to the other side. Now here they're not reacting to each other, they're just going into the amp simultaneously and the amp is reacting to both of them. This should be interesting to say the least. I have what was basically kind of when I did the demo, my favorite sound on the A side or in the whole pedal, which is the germanium, and it sounds like this. So that was basically my favorite sound when I had a quick rummage through the different functions of the pedal. But theoretically you could run something alongside this to make it different. Now I have the hard overdrive on the other side selected with slightly, well, the tone is at 2 o'clock, it's the same on the A side. I have level up on full on both sides, and I have a bit of drive going on the B side, that's at 2 o'clock, and it's on full on the A side. We'll see what happens when you run them parallel. This might be mayhem. Well, it's definitely something interesting. I'll change from the hard drive, since I'm not a terribly big fan of that, to the 2-stage and run the 2-stage and the germanium simultaneously. Let's see what that sounds like. Might sound better if someone who knew how to play the guitar was actually playing it. Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. I'll try the Texas pedal on side A and the 2-stage simultaneously and see what that does. Sounds like this. Very interesting. I don't know though. I mean, you get a ton of options you can explore. I'm not a big fan of exploring sounds. I kind of just want to play. The great thing about this pedal is it's not complicated. It has 2 sides and it has tone, drive and volume on both sides, and it has 3 different pedals on both sides, but you could run them parallel or into one another and explore those things basically for as long as you wanted. I'm not sure that's something I would do, but I'm sure a lot of people would like that. What appeals to me in this pedal is basically that you have so many different options going on, especially if you hook up the favorite switch, which you can get from Strymon, or I assume any kind of foot switch would do, where you can recall your favorite sound, because you can program your favorite sound into this. So you basically get three. You get A, B, and your favorite. Now that's quite a bit from just one overdrive pedal, especially considering that it has an inbuilt noise gate. So you don't need a noise gate. This is what happens when I turn on both sides at once. Nothing happens. I don't have an external noise gate at all. If this was the Yngwie Overdrive, the hiss would be terrible. Theoretically, this should be my favorite pedal, my go-to pedal. I don't use a huge amount of different sounds, but if I need something like a smaller or less overdriven sound and then my regular sound, I might have, well, clean first of all, as clean as the plexi ever is, and then I could have something like this. Or even less drive maybe. That sounds nice. And then I could have something else on the other side of the pedal. Or however you play that. I've forgotten that one. You could have something like that going on. Now, that's where I find this pedal would be most useful. Now, I don't know if I like it more. Well, I do know. I don't like it as much as the Yngwie Overdrive by Fender, but the Yngwie Overdrive is not at all versatile. It's on or it's off, and that's basically it. The way I have it set up, it's always on full, and there's a potential problem there. If you're doing a gig with an amp that's different from this is the one I'm used to using, something that's totally clean, you might need additional boost. Now, the Sunset would do that, but then I'd have to have something else along with the Fender to boost even more. Yeah, and I don't like many pedals. Just want a couple. I want an overdrive, a wah, and a delay, and that's basically what I want. One other pedal that I really liked was the JHS Moonshine, and I think I'll just have to do a comparison between the three, like which one has my favorite sound, how close are they actually to each other, and yeah, choose from those, because I can't have all three pedals lying around. I have way too many pedals as it is. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think, because, well, taking into account all the different features and possibilities with the Strymon, I really don't think you can miss unless you don't like the sound in the box. I liked it more when I played it last time. I don't know what's going on. Really, I don't know. So I'll just have to A and B it, and it might be a sad case of it turning out to be not nearly as good as the real thing. But I did A and B it in the previous video, so maybe something's just wrong with my ears today. Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and please give it a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let's be honest here. And comment, let me know what you thought, and if you have experience with this. I know they have another pedal Sunset and Strymon called Riverside as well. If you've tried that, let me know. I'm thinking about trying that one as well. Yeah, and basically, if you feel like it, support me on Patreon, because I buy the gear that I review, so you get an honest review. To summarize, the Sunset, huge potential. Not sure of the sounds. The different combinations are neat, but I'm not sure they're for me. But they might be for you. Don't know. That's all I have for you today. I'll play a bit more with the Strymon Sunset, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Goodbye.